is yours.
Yeah, thanks, Big Mo, and welcome everybody. What a terrific turnout for this whole promotion on Saturday night. We're really excited to be back here as Sky Sports, and I know I speak for Ben Shalom as well. Everybody's excited to be back down here, and we're just counting down the hours now. We're nearly ready to go. Of course, the main event, we'll come on to that later. 13 world champions from Wales. Will Lauren Price become number 14 and the first woman to do so? But with a great main event like that, we need a great undercard. And Ben Shalom, I know you've worked tirelessly, especially with some of the local talent here, and you must be delighted with all of the fighters that are up here today that we've managed to get some good contests over the line.
Yeah, first of all, it's great to be here. It's great to be in Cardiff. I think when we decided and managed to get Lauren Price a world title over here, is really important for us to have a Welsh theme, a Welsh boxing theme. We've got a huge talent on the card, huge Welsh fighters on the card. Obviously, we've worked with Rhys Edwards for a long time now, but I see and I look ahead and I look at a lot of talent coming through in Wales, and they're looking at lads like Rhys, they're looking at Lauren Price, and they can see now there is a path, there is a vision, there is a way to get onto these big Sky Sports shows, and it was hugely important. And I think that's part of the reason it sold so well on Saturday night. You know, the Welsh are very proud of their own. They get behind their own. We're going to see a huge atmosphere for Lauren, but it's going to be full from early on Saturday night, and I can't wait for it.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Let's get straight to some of that talent that we've been speaking about. Kane Shepherd, great to speak to you yesterday, Kane. What an opportunity for you to showcase your skills. First time on Sky Sports, what do you want to show us?
Yeah, first of all, thank you to Ben, Sky, my coach, Gary. I feel like I'm made to be on this big stage. You know, I've had my ups and downs in my career with injuries, but, you know, I'm back now. I'm fully fit, and I can't wait to showcase everything I could do on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a question I asked you yesterday, but I don't mind asking it again. In terms of that Welsh talent that Ben was talking about there, the likes of Joe Cordina, who fights next week, and hopefully Lauren can become number 14, it feels like everybody's being pushed along, and boxing goes in cycles, and feels like Welsh boxing is in the start of a cycle again where you've got so much talent coming through. But is it important to you that when all's said and done on Saturday night, people are talking about who stole the show, and that's something that you want to do?
Yeah, of course. I always want to steal the show. Obviously, we got my teammates Kieran and Rhys. I know they're going to put on a great performance, but, you know, I focus on myself, and, you know, I feel like I'm going to put on a great show on Saturday, and it's a good step up for me, but I'm going to take both opportunity with both hands.
Great to speak to you, great to meet you, and wish you all the best on Saturday.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
I'll come to Moses Jolly next. What an introduction yesterday at the workouts. But I have to ask, you know, when you've got a 6'6" breakdancing heavyweight who sits at the press conference with a headdress on, you have to ask, tell us a little bit about yourself. And obviously the headdress is a nod to your family heritage. But what is the Moses Jolly package? What can we expect on Saturday?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having me here. It's a beautiful platform to be on. I hope the headrest isn't in the way. I can take it off if it's causing a distraction. Also, yeah, my display come Saturday will be mind, body and soul in the boxing flow. And I'm very looking forward to it, yeah.
You're an interesting character. I asked you yesterday what can we expect, and I think we covered the meaning of life, the dynamics of mechanics of a rocket, breakdancing, and a little bit of boxing in there as well. Is that a fair assessment?
It's pretty fair, in all fairness, yeah. In all respects, yeah. I would say when it comes to boxing, I mean, we all can agree it's a way of life. We put our life and soul into this. We put blood, sweat and tears. So, yeah, a way of life is a fair way to explain it.
And I know you've got big dreams. One of those is to win the Welsh title. But, you know, how quickly do you feel you can be moved? You're unbeaten as a pro and you're making the right sort of noises on the scene. But winning is all important on Saturday. That all goes away if you don't get through your opponent.
Well said. Well, one fight at a time. Focus on the opponent who's to come. And, yeah, the dream is to one day possibly be the first to bring a world title back to Wales. The Welsh title I would love to claim, but when that time comes, I'll make sure to be ready.
Well, great to meet you. Great to have you on the show, Moses, the native. Let's go to our next fighter on the bill, which is Lewis Howes. Now, Lewis, great story about how you managed to get this fight with Kieran Jones. You know each other very, very well, former amateur teammates, but you saw the poster. Just tell us how this came to be in the conversations that went down. You saw the poster and you made a few calls, and whatever happened, happened.
Yeah, so I was out for a while with injury.
I was just nosing through Instagram as you do, follow Boxer, seen Kieran's name come up, so asked for the fight. Within 24 hours, my management team spoke to Ben, it was all sorted, and we just waited on Kieran gave the nod, so great fight ahead now for Wales.
I think Ben Shalom will echo this. That's not usually as how it goes. It's never that simple, but it is a great story. I mean, everybody's a bit jealous of that, to be honest. But you two know each other. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, that's correct. We were teammates for Wales, so we know each other well. There's a lot of respect between the pair of us. I know what he's capable of. He knows me well enough, so it's going to be a good fight.
Not going to encourage some sort of back and forth here because I don't think we're going to have tables flying and stuff like that. But two unbeaten Welsh prospects, that's exactly what this show wanted. Kieran, when the news came to you, are you applauding Lewis and saying, yeah, why not, let's do it?
Yeah, of course. You know, these are the fights I want to be in. This is what, you know, I'm in boxing for. It's the boxing platforms like this. So I'd like to thank Boxer, Ben Shalom, and my coach and Gary for giving me this opportunity. You know, like you said, you know, it was a great fight for Welsh boxing. You know, I got the expectations to be, you know, steal the show. You know, there's such a talent on this show. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to Saturday. Preparation's gone great. I'm in the best shape of my life. And yeah, you know, the respect is there for Lewis. I know what he's capable of. And, you know, that respect goes out the window on Saturday. And, you know, it's strictly business, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, it's going to be a great night. And I'm really looking forward to it.
I think those of us that enjoy boxing bingo, sparring is sparring. But if you're talking about what you did behind closed doors, if the sparring matches what we're going to see on fight night, what sort of fight are we expecting? That's a question to both of you. Kieran, if you want to go first.
Yeah, it's going to be an explosive fight. Obviously, that sparring was 10 years ago. You know, I'm a different fighter now, and I'm sure Lewis is a different fighter. We both learned, you know what I mean? So yeah, you know, I'm right up for Saturday. I'm afraid to be on a show on a platform like this. It makes it even better. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, same to you, Lewis.
Yeah, same thing. I think sparring was back then. You know, we both had our good days, bad days, and hopefully on the night I'll have my good day and win the fight.
Yeah, well, by the time we've clipped that up, we'll make that some sort of beef, don't worry. But great to see. Great to see the respect between the two of you, and may the best man win. Louis Edmondson, great to welcome you back on a Boxer card. I don't know, by the time we finish with this one, we might have some fun. So it's Southampton against Portsmouth.
Looks that way, doesn't it?
Now that's interesting, isn't it? There's some rivalry, obviously, between the football clubs. Do you two know each other, you and Joel McIntyre?
Yeah, we know each other very well, sparred many times, and there's mutual respect there as a person. But obviously, Saints Portsmouth, so it's got to be. It is what it is.
Yeah, well, let's just hope everyone behaves themselves. I say that with a smile on my face, but I mean it. Yeah, you've been in the headlines and you've been on our radar for various reasons. It's not Ben Whittaker, and you probably won't thank me for bringing that name up, but is that now done and in the past?
I'm sick of talking about him, to be honest. Everybody knows, Sky know, Boxer know, we know, Ben, you know. He doesn't want that fight, so I'm sick of talking about him, to be honest. It's pointless chat. He doesn't want to fight, so it's pointless talking about him.
I am brilliant at pointless questions, so don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Obviously, you've got big dreams that don't involve him, but you have to get through Joel McIntyre. So what sort of fight are you expecting from Joel, and what sort of performance do you have to produce to beat him?
So I'm glad to be stepping up an opponent. I respect Joel as a fighter. He's been around the block. He's very experienced. But I believe where we're going in this sport, we need to come through fights like this in good style.
Okay, well, great to have you back on the show. Joel, you will have heard all of that. There is obviously respect there. There's a rivalry there. One of the things I think everyone can agree with, when you get Joel McIntyre on the card, you know exactly what you're letting yourself in for. What can you show us on Saturday, and how confident are you that you've got enough in the tank to beat Louis Edmondson?
Well, to be honest, we're at different stages of our career, and yeah, we've done a lot of work in the gym together. I respect him. I look forward to seeing his journey. But if I can, put a little spanner in the works, I always will. That's why I'm here. It's a test for a guy like Louis, and yeah, man, if I can ruin the party, I will.
Very eloquently put. Apologies for the language. But how important is it to derail? Like say, different stages of your career. But actually, if he's looking past you, is that not a great thing for you?
I suppose so, yeah. I mean, it's not really going to make a difference. Yeah, I know he's a professional. He does what he does. He does show up. He does turn up. And on the night, I feel like he does good performances. But, you know, we're light heavyweights. So we're not heavyweights. They say heavyweights, there's always one punch, and that's all it takes. And I think it's the same at light heavyweight, to be honest. So you just never know what can happen.
Well, great to have you on the show, and best of luck. Let's make our way up to the top table. Patrick Corte, who joins us along with Frank Rose, who's going to help us translate. Great to have you on the show. What sort of fight are you hoping to produce against Hughie Fury on Saturday night? What can we expect from you, Patrick?
Thank you very much. First of all, we would like to apologize for our English. We are trying our very best. It's the first time in Wales. We are very happy to be here. We were getting up at 3 o'clock this morning, and we are not doing this if we are trying to get a bad job. Okay?
What do you know about Hughie Fury?
I mean, he's from a great family. He got 150 amateur fights, 30 trophy fights. He's a great guy. And so for us, it's a great opportunity. We have a big honor and we have full respect.
What does a win do for your career?
Everything. To be here is a win, and to win is a double win.
And we've got a lot of good heavyweights here. Do you believe that if you can beat Hughie Fury, easier said than done, that you can come back and wreck a few more dreams?
Patrick will go everywhere.
Okay, I should just say we spoke beforehand. That wasn't all Frank's idea. That was what Patrick had already relayed. So thank you very much for joining us, Hughie. That's good fighting talk, presumably. That's exactly what you want to hear. He's coming here to derail your progress back to the top.
He can try as much as you want. He's got a big head. I'm sure won't miss.
Great to have you back. He boxed only a couple of weeks ago. Real good rust shedding exercise. Do you feel like that's blown away a few of the cobwebs, and to come through that injury-free must be a big relief?
Yeah, 100%. I'm happy to be back in the ring. I've got the ring rust off now. Feel sharp, feel fit, and looking forward to putting on a performance.
Patrick has got some fights on YouTube, and I think what we can say is he's a big lump who's in shape and comes out front foot. He's going to be aggressive. That's probably a little bit different to your last opponent. How will that suit your style, do you think, and how will you cope with that?
To be honest with you, I've not seen much of him. I know he's a big lump and I know he can hit. That's it. I'm going to play with him for a couple of rounds and then knock him out whenever I want.
What about this part of your career? Where is this journey going, and how quickly can we get to the destination?
I want to be active. That's the main thing with me. I've been out for 3 years. I've had problems there. The main thing now, I believe I can be the best and at the top. And enough speaking. I'll let me fish do the talking. And yeah, can't wait to put into action.
Great to have you on the show. Let's move on to Mark. Great to have you on this side. Sorry, Mark. We're becoming a bit of a mainstay now on these Sky shows, impressing each and every time. This looks like a really good fight on paper against Darren Johnston.
Yeah, no, another good fight. I think I've had 3 or else 4 opponent changes, so went down to the fight buzzing. Let's go.
You know much about him?
Yeah. I leave like with Mick and Dave. They do the studying. They tell me a game plan, and I execute it.
Yeah, I mean, we know your training team very well. The Jennings camp. Feel like you're really moulding into a very solid, well-rounded, got a bit of everything in the attack and in the style that you've got there. The Mark Jeffers package is a little bit of everything, counter-punching if you need to, but also can be aggressive when you need to. Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that aggressive side tomorrow night as well. Not tomorrow. What day are we on? We can do it after the weigh-in, but yeah, Saturday night.
Live Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. So me and Michael, we've worked on a few things this camp, which you're going to see on Saturday night.
What's the long-term goal for you?
It's got to be world champion, 100%.
Feel you can get there?
100%.
Perfect. Wish you all the best of luck, and it was nice to see a young family here as well. So
yeah, big Ronnie over there.
Yeah, you look like you're getting plenty of sleep anyway. So, Darren, great to welcome you to the top table. I think Mark said there he's chopped and changed with opponents. That is the modern way of trying to put fights like that together. You've had enough notice and in a good enough shape that you can come here and derail Mark Jeffers.
I got this shot 2 weeks notice and I was training and keeping fit. When I got the opportunity to take it, I took it straight away because that's where I want to be. I win titles, be on big platforms like this all the time, so that's why I keep proving and getting better.
Tell us a little bit about your amateur experience, because very, very good amateur.
Yeah, I was a good amateur. I boxed for Scotland for years, went to Europeans, boxed Romania, Poland, beat the Polish champion, got gold and I got a bronze in Finland, the Tammer tournament, got bronze in Romania. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And do you feel like you've managed to transition over to the pros and bring through those skills?
I definitely. I actually feel like I'm more suited to the pro game as an amateur because I enjoyed the longer rounds and yeah, it's a lot better. Enjoy it better.
What do you know about Mark?
I don't really know much. I've watched him a few times, but I've always knew that we would cross lines at some point in my pro career because we're the same way and I win titles. So when I got the opportunity to take this, I took it in a heartbeat because I win titles, so I get my name up there on the platform. So
I couldn't believe when you walked through the door. You're tall at this weight, and you've got back-to-back stoppages now. Do you feel that you're hitting hard enough? And in this fight, I know all of you want to win by a knockout if you can, but do you believe you can make it a hat-trick and go 3 in a row?
Oh, it'll be a bonus. If it comes, it comes. So at the end of the day, you know yourself when you're boxing, you don't want to shoot. If it comes, it comes. You can't do anything about it. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I know myself as a good fighter, and I'm a good fighter, so it's going to be fireworks and whatever happens, but I'm not going to come back to the victory. So.
Well, thank you for being on the show, and we look forward to it. Let's go to our chief support. Only one half of it. We haven't got Thomas Patrick Ward here today due to some travel problems, but we have got Rhys Edwards. Rhys, great to see you, great to speak to you yesterday where you looked all at ease, apart from the food ads on your Instagram feed that have been keeping you up at night, but I've never seen you so happy around fight week and big stage, calls for a big performance. Have you got one in you on Saturday?
Definitely, 100%. I'm busting for it. It's the best camp's ever gone. I know everyone always says that, but I really can't wait. I'm gonna perform on Saturday.
I think you could have been forgiven after the Brad Foster win, and with Lauren Price doing a big homecoming. You know, you want to be on the show. You probably could have picked a slightly easier opponent. But what does that say about you and Gary Lockett? Like, what was the conversation? We want to go again, and we want to step up again. Thomas Patrick Ward is a very, very good fighter with a very, very good CV.
Yeah, definitely. I could have chosen an easier fight, but why not? I need to test myself. It's another big step up. I know how good I am. Gary knows how good I am. I show her every day in the gym, so we'll go again Saturday and show how good I am.
And do you feel actually that you're now producing what you do behind closed doors? Because a lot of people say they're good gym fighters, and then under the bright lights it is a slightly different dynamic. Do you now feel that you're actually transferring the skills, that under the bright lights on fight night you've grown in maybe a little bit more confident as well, that you know this isn't new to you? It's you've been on Sky shows before, you've been televised before, and it's actually a bit more comfortable with it all?
Yeah, definitely. Every fight is just a learning experience. Like my last fight, it's just all experience, and it's getting me to where I want to be, and I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling good, and I really can't wait.
It was something that Kane Shepherd touched on earlier, but this wave that we've got at the moment, how important are the likes of Joe Cordina, you've got a world title at the moment, Lauren Price could become number 14, that actually you're all on their coattails, that everyone's pushing each other on?
Yeah, it's huge. Right now I think the atmosphere and there's a big buzz around Welsh boxing, and we're all pushing on. And we're all kind of giving each other that drive. Obviously, for Joel Cordina and Lauren head in it, they are the ones in front, but we're all looking up to them. And that's where we want to be. And I can't see why not. In a few years, I can't be there myself.
And is it a motivating factor with all the Welsh talent on the card that you are the one that people are talking about afterwards, or is it just win and move on?
Just win and move on, obviously, is good, but yeah, I do want to steal the show. Obviously, we all do sitting up here, but just get a win, get the job done, and on to the next thing.
Perfect. Well, I think that concludes, unless I've missed anybody out, that concludes our undercard press conference. We're going to break now for head-to-heads, and everyone will get a one-on-one opportunity, and then we'll be back after a short intermission for the main event press conferences. If everybody just stays down at the front, there'll be these tables are cleared, and we'll have plenty of time to get a clean head-to-head. So thank you very much to everybody, and stay with us.
fans, Johnny?
I'm a bit of a star in Germany.
You're a bit big in Germany.
So I do remember from the old days. I think they actually think he's still alive, Nelson, but it is best.
Well, that ticked along nicely, Matt.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing untoward. Everyone said what you'd expect them to say. They're all in good shape already, all looking forward to it, all believe in themselves. But it's pretty solid undercard. I think certainly Reece Edwards against Thomas Patrick Ward, that's a fight I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
Two boxers.
You get the sense that he's very much looking to steal the show, isn't he? He's looking to grab the limelight and grab everyone's attention.
It's a tough fight for Reece Edwards. It's a really tough fight. And so for people to overlook Ward, it's a wrong, because he's technically very, very good. On point. I think he was unbeaten at some point up to 34 fights.
Yeah, big time. One of those fights, turned pro at 18, took their time with him, and like I said, we talk about seasoning and experiences. He developed nicely, and then lost. We had that bad cut. Was it against? His name's lost me now. I've gone. But African fighter. Remember, he got a really bad cut. It was a technical draw. A Soma or a Sama.
But
anyway.
But Edwards he's unbeaten in 15 fights. So again, I like the fact that they're willing to still risk that all in against somebody that's got a good winning record to show the confidence and belief they've got in him.
Well, if Thomas Patrick wins, he's back up there. After that loss and then the draw, he's right back up there. And for Reece Edwards, it's another step up again, you could say, from Brad Foster. So, his career's moving in the right direction.
It's a good show, isn't it, to whet the appetite, as it were, for next week's. This is like the hors d'oeuvre, isn't it, for next week? How much are you looking forward to Usyk Fury?
I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to be in the studio, aren't we?
We are going to be. Sorry to break that to you, Johnny. We're staying put.
I'm going to be on the ground.
Yeah, Matt, you're going. You're going.
That's rub it in. I actually think the week build-up's going to be great. It's going to be pretty tense. I think Tyson Fury. He's going to have to really depend on his boxing skills, because Usyk's playing a great game in letting a lot of things being lost in translation. So the things that Tyson Fury says and does, he knows he's not getting through to him, and Tyson Fury's no idea. He tries to get into the head and mind of the fighter. Usyk, I saw a little really smart message he dropped today saying, "Don't worry, Tyson, I won't leave you alone." And so
the
very
mind games are afoot, aren't they? Very much so. Have you seen the picture that Tyson Fury posted on social media? He is looking, though, in very, very good shape.
He is, and it's funny because he can't win no matter what he does. Carl Fletcher's saying he's too slim, he needs to put some weight on. Tyson Fury can fight. It's not just about being able to fight, he can fight. The best version of Tyson Fury should win. Anything under par, he'll get turned over. But I've said to everybody, do not be surprised of a controversial ending, because Tyson Fury had openly admitted he used the elbow on Ngannou. We've seen him before when he's under pressure. He'll use a forearm. He'll use every kind of fighting tactic. And I'm quite sure Usyk's team are smart enough to say, keep an eye on him, ref. Do your job. Points will be taken away, questions will be asked, and so if Fury's under any pressure, this is where the controversial starts.
Yeah, Fury came under quite a lot of, a bit of criticism, wasn't there, in the Ngannou fight, but can we just park that, do you think? That was just a performance. He overlooked him, probably didn't train as much as he should have done.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's no doubt that he overlooked him, looked past him, and I think we'll see a completely different Tyson Fury against Usyk. Maybe a better one than what we would have seen had the Ngannou fight not happened. It probably gave him a kick up the backside that he maybe needed to refocus himself. There was a lot of stuff going on in Tyson Fury's world, the Netflix show, everything else. I think it's probably refocused him.
But don't you think he quite likes that noise, Tyson Fury?
It is, but it's still a distraction. I think after the fight against Ngannou, I think all that other stuff's probably been parked now till after the Usyk fight.
And I think if you're in Tyson Fury's position, the success he's had, the position he holds himself in, why would you listen to the noise? Why would you be bothered about the likes of what we say when you know what you can do, what you're capable of doing, and it probably the people around him, the noise around him that are trying to stoke it up into something else. At the end of the day, when it gets down to it, Tyson Fury wants to just fight. Maybe talking sometimes will say one or two things that drops himself in it. He's a great student of our game, but he wants to just fight. So this side of it is the show business side.
They're two very sort of different approaches, though, aren't they? Usyk, he's quite the sort of quiet man, just goes about his business, doesn't he? And then you've got Tyson Fury, he loves the bravado. And like I said, I think he quite likes that sort of a noisy attention. The activity on social media is still happening.
Yeah, I think he likes to get one up on his opponents even before the fight happens, psychologically, where because of the language barrier, I don't think he'll and not just the barrier, but the way, because I think Usyk understands more than he lets on, but I think he won't really be able to kind of get in his head or get over him. So that's something he normally has going from Tyson Fury, which I don't think he'll have in this fight.
There's a lot of questions, though, aren't there? I mean, we've got the cut as well to factor in with Fury, how well that's healed. How much sparring is he actually, how much preparation has he stayed in the gym? Has he been active? We just don't know, do we? And they're all factors you've got to sort of take in, haven't you?
Yeah, but look, he's not the first fighter in the world that's been cut and the fight's been put back. Do you know what I mean? He'll adjust and adapt, and yeah, preparations. Sometimes they work out better. That extra bit of time. I don't know. Maybe it hasn't gone as well. We don't know this, but what I do expect is that we're going to see a tip-top Tyson Fury.
The other side of the
not just
coin,
physically, mentally as well.
The other side of the coin is for Alexander Usyk. He's been in 2 training camps now that have fallen flat. There's such a thing as overtraining. You overtrain, you leave it all in the gym.
Surely he's someone, and I'm just playing devil's advocate here. He's too smart for that.
But you know what?
You'd like to think so.
But that's what I'm saying. No matter how smart you are, how much experience you've been through, if you're in the gym preparing for a fight and you're timing, and then a couple of weeks before it's pulled out again, you've got to adjust your body clock. You've got to adjust everything else. You've got to not have too much time off, but try and stay mentally focused. It can affect fighters.
Yeah, well, John, you know yourself. Even if physically you get it right, you can go a bit mentally stale.
Yeah. Well, we're talking of Fury. There's Fury now. He's just ready to get back in the ring, isn't he, Johnny?
Yes, he is. And getting in with Patrick Corte, big, strong unit. Wants to get in the ring. He was out on a local promotion at home. Now he's out again. He wants some momentum in his career. He's a fighter that's getting his experience, getting his wisdom through experiences. Bad. So now's a good time.
He's not old, though, by any short, but he's been in with such a high level of opposition. Even though there might be losses, he's still gained so much experience from that.
And it makes a massive difference as well. And a lot of people don't, they've got to learn on the job. And some people have the grace of being able to learn behind closed doors. He's having to learn on the job. So we've got to kick the door down now and say, right, you've got to respect me now. I'm here. I've done it all. You've seen me lose. Now watch how I've grown.
What are you looking to see from Huey on Saturday night, Matt?
Yeah, just get a good win. Hopefully get his jab going. I know he's had a fight a couple of weeks ago, so he shook off a bit of rust. But he's been really inactive, so it might take a few fights to get really back to where he was. So, hopefully a good win and a performance that he's happy with.
Moses here, the smile. He's a character, isn't he, Johnny?
He is. I said to him earlier on, I said, you know what? You're trying something where you stand out in amongst the crowd. He's 8-0. He had 3 amateur fights.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our viewers joining us on Sky Sports. Welcome back, Ben Shalom. Welcome back, Andy Scott. The main event this Saturday, the world titles have arrived here in Cardiff. This Saturday night at the Utilita Arena, we have the WBA, IBO, and Ring Magazine Unified Welterweight Championships of the World on the line. Available live worldwide on Sky Sports, NBC's Peacock, and BBC Wales. Introducing first, the challenger, joined by her coach, Gary Hale. She is an Olympic gold medalist. She is an MBE. And she is the first ever women's British champion. For Mr. Abminoch Wales, please welcome Lauren Price. And now the champion, joined by her coach Rick Ramos. She has taken her belts on the road. She hails from Chicago, Illinois, USA. Please welcome the former undisputed champion of the world and the current reigning, defending WBA, IBO, and Ring Magazine Unified Champion of the World. She is Kaskilla Jessica McCaskill. Andy Scott, Ben Shalom, floor is yours.
Big Mo, thanks very much. Yeah, we bigged up the undercard, didn't we, and said how much we're looking forward to it. But make no mistake, the majority of you in this room and the majority of everybody around the streets of Cardiff and Wales, they're here for this main event. Two fierce competitors, two brilliant role models, two very, very good fighters, but there can only be one world champion leaving that ring on Saturday night. Jessica McCaskill and her team, welcome back. Lauren and Gary Hale, welcome back. Ben Shalom, there's always a risk involved with every fight that you make, and especially I think when you're bringing through an Olympian with the pressure on their shoulders of when to flick the switch and when to take that risk. Why now? Why Saturday night? And why Jessica McCaskill?
Look, first of all, thank you to Rick and Jessica. It's great to see you here. This is a pioneer, really, I believe, in women's boxing. Her 11th world title fight. It's a special occasion for her as well. Why now for Lauren? She breaks records. She's done it since she started her sporting career. She's done it since she started her boxing career. It's her 7th fight. Yes, it's early. Yes, she's boxing against Jessica McCaskill, who's never lost at this weight division, who's back in, a few years ago defeated and dethroned Brackhouse, has continued to break records since. We now look at the defeats against Chantel Cameron and see what Chantel's gone and achieved, the draw with Sandy Ryan and what Sandy did to Terry Harper. This is a huge test for Lauren Price, but to do it in Cardiff, to have this sort of support, to have the occasion like this, it was an opportunity that we just couldn't turn down. And as you said, when you talk about breaking records, when you talk about trying to forge a legacy, that's what makes this so special. Of course, there's no foregone conclusion on Saturday night. This fight truly can go either way. But knowing Lauren how I do, I think the boxing world in this country and the boxing world in Britain knows how good Lauren Price is. And this is another test and one of the very biggest that we could possibly take.
Let's go straight to the fighters. So I'll go to the challenger first, Lauren Price. Lauren, how have you found it all? We had some great, quite comical stories from your partner Karis yesterday about the tickets and the phone ringing off the hook and how you've been received. Have you been surprised at all? Have you been humbled at the reception? I think you've been running around giving out ticket envelopes, signing photos, and it's gone down really well, I gather.
Yeah, obviously, when this fight first got announced, I didn't really know, how well it was going to sell, first time headlining, but I've got to say I've been overwhelmed with the amount of support I've received. It's blown me out of the park, really. I got a big thank you to Karis, for dealing with all the tickets, taking the stress off my hands. But yeah, I can't thank, the Welsh fans, the public enough for coming out on Saturday and showing me support. There's going to be some noise in there Saturday night, and I can't wait to put on a show. Yeah, on that atmosphere and that crowd, I've heard elite sports people like yourself use that phrase, pressure is a privilege. How important is it that you harness that energy from the crowd and that atmosphere and use it in the right way? I'm sure there will be nerves, but how do you get it all going in the right direction and focus on the goal in hand? I've got a great team behind me, and obviously Rob and Gary, and I'm going to soak it all in, take it in, that ring walk. I'm going to take my time, enjoy myself, but when I get to that ring, it's game on then, down to business, and as soon as that bell goes, it's just two of us in the ring, and the only person I'll be listening to is my corner. There's supposed to be special moments challenging for a world title, hopefully winning a world title from your perspective. How important is it that you don't let this pass you by, that you actually do take it in and enjoy it and make some memories? I'm not an elite sportsman, that might shock you, but I often think, for you, this is a job. How do you make sure that you're actually enjoying it as well, or does the enjoyment come afterwards? Is that a fair question? I don't know, I'm enjoying myself so far. I think the best thing is obviously knowing that I've had a great camp. I'm in the best, physical shape. I've prepared physically, mentally, and I'm in a good place, and that's the best thing, I suppose. But yeah, I plan to enjoy myself in there, and I suppose, when you're relaxed and you're composed, your boxing just flows, so that's what I plan to do. We'll come back to you shortly. Let's go to the champion. The belts are in front of you.
already booked that return baggage and they'll be going back with you. How have you settled here in Cardiff, and where's your mindset at the moment? Even at this stage, are there a few nerves, or are you now in that veteran stage? You've done this a number of times before, you know what you're doing.
Yeah, it just kind of flows, and you're used to it, and you just kind of like clock in and you're working and your mind is focused and you got blinders on. So I'm trying my best to enjoy Wales and the people here of Cardiff, and everything's been really great. So we're just, going through the motions, really.
Really great so far. How have you been received? I know you had a little bit of a tribute yesterday with the Welsh Dragon sweatbands and stuff like that. You're not necessarily public enemy number one yet, but you probably should prepare for a bit of a hostile atmosphere on fight night. I think that's fair enough.
I think everybody's just been really great. Even, just being blatantly honest, people will come up and ask for a picture or ask for an autograph, and I'll say, well, are you rooting for me? And then they'll say, well, no, but, and that's totally fine. But they still are receiving me with open arms. And I think they just want a great fight on Saturday like everybody else.
How do you think you will be received on fight night, and with the boos and stuff like that? Is it a motivating factor to try and silence a home crowd, make a few new fans? But you will be breaking a few hearts along the way if you can derail Lauren Price's route to a world title.
I want to make fans wherever I go, even if, there's people in Chicago that don't know who I am. I want to make new friends there in the States, in other countries. That's the main goal, is trying to get this awareness of boxing and female boxing, and the excitement is being here in Wales. The excitement is coming to my opponent's backyard. The excitement is for a headliner to be here in Wales. So I want the excitement to be about those things, and I don't want the crowd to go silent at all. I want to keep hearing that sound.
Okay, well, more from you later. Let's bring in the wider training teams. Gary Hale, great to have you up here, part of the wider coaching setup at Team GB, and be working with Lauren on the night alongside Robert McCracken. It's a bit of an extension on the question that I asked Ben Shalom. There comes a time where you have to take a calculated risk, and you never know until you know. But everything that you've seen from Lauren as an amateur and Lauren as a pro so far, is now the time for her to become world champion. How confident are you, and what does she have to do to get it done against Jessica McCaskill?
Yeah, I think with Lauren, an extensive amateur experience, she's boxed all over the world. She's boxed against every style that you can come up against. And I think the confidence that she gains from that is so important. So there's no real surprises really in what Jessica. Obviously there's a mutual respect there, and there's of what Jessica's achieved. But Lauren is fully confident. She's the ultimate professional. She's grounded, and I think Rob and the coaching team, everything that is asked of her, she does. So that's why we feel now the time's right for Lauren.
I think at Sky and Ben with Boxer, we're guilty of hyping everything up. Everything's the most important, everything's the biggest fight. But if I could ask you, what is Lauren Price actually like behind closed doors to work with? Because throughout this build-up, throughout this week, and actually I think around the Olympics, so laid back, you couldn't quite believe the magnitude of the events. She's so calm. What's she actually like to work with, if that's not an unfair question? You can answer honestly.
Yeah, what you see with Lauren is what you get. She's grounded, humble. Her work ethic is unbelievable. Her ambition, she basically has all the tools that's required to reach the top. And as we see with, Olympic gold medalists, they don't grow on trees, do they? So you have to be that special elite fighter to be able to achieve that.
Gary, great to have you up here today. Let's go over to the other side. Rick Ramos, great to have you back. How are you enjoying this whole thing? This isn't new to you as Team McCaskill. Is the motivation and the drive still there as a team? These are still big nights, still big fights. Okay, probably in the later third of your career, but still have to perform on the night and perform in training. And from what you've seen from Jessica, are you fully confident that on Saturday night you can break a few hearts and carry on?
For sure. We're definitely enjoying our time here. We stopped at a couple local boxing gyms, meet a lot of people. Like Jess said, we want to build fans, build relationships, be at the highest level. We take fights like this to be excited, to be re-motivated again. Because I think you should fight these biggest names back home. It's not as exciting, but to take someone, to fight somebody in their hometown and their home promotion and challenges like this gets us excited. So I'm excited to be here. I know they talk about, fighters seeing everything especially at the Olympic amateur background. But Lomachenko, he saw everything, and he lost his first big fight against a big fighter. You know, I think the pros are very different than the amateurs, so that's not a big deal for us. We understand what we're up against, and you know, we're here to impress and to build our fan base for sure.
He did. I've got a smile on my face because he didn't do too badly after that, did he? And he's live on Sky Sports this weekend against George Kambosos Jr. Should shout that one out. But on that point,
yeah,
I think everybody knows how good Lauren was as an amateur. It was something that you said yesterday. They are two different sports, same game but different sports, amateur boxing and pro boxing. On this side of the table, do you sit here, and Jessica didn't have an extensive amateur career to speak of? It doesn't mean that you can't be ferocious and successful.
Correct.
The proof is in the pudding here.
For sure.
Do you think on the night on Saturday that could be the difference between the two fighters?
It could be. You know, I think a lot of people see, you know, a lot of amateur backgrounds. They got a lot of miles on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Jessica is 39 years old, but she doesn't carry the miles that a lot of, like, let's say Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor's the oldest 36-year-old you ever see. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I think it's a matter of, like, how you treat your body, how aware you are of your body, and how you perform in front of a crowd. And, you know, I think a lot of times when you fight in your hometown, you have obligations all week, all month. You got to be here. Your cousin's calling you, your grandma's calling you, this and that. So you got to fulfill those obligations. Those are distractions. That's why we take these fights, the hard fights. We don't want no distractions. We're completely focused, completely relaxed. We love this, and I think you're going to see it on Saturday night.
Yeah, a lot of those things that you spoke about there are physical attributes. Mentally as well, though, you're still as hungry as a team as when you started.
Yeah,
if not hungrier, I suppose.
For sure, and I think, like, just taking a fight like this demonstrates that. Yeah, we could have fought anybody in the world. I mean, there isn't a shortage of opponents to fight Jessica. We took the hardest opponent. We took, you know, a different promotion. We took, you know, what we believe is a tough challenge. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you become in the Hall of Fame, in which I believe Jessica is already in the Hall of Fame, you fight the best, you know, and we'll prove Saturday night that we still are the best.
Rick, thanks very much. Let's go back to the fighters. Lauren, you will have been listening to that if you can hear it down there. If you're going to win a world title, you've got to beat the best Jessica McCaskill that's on offer, according to her team. That's good motivation?
Yeah, definitely. I got complete respect for Jessica, you know, and her team. But, you know, I believe in myself, my team believe in me, and I believe, you know, I'm in my prime. And, yeah, it's my 7th pro fight. People are saying, oh, it's too soon, but as long as I believe in myself and my team believe in me, that's all I care, and I believe I get our win on Saturday.
What do you think she's going to do? How do you think she'll approach the fight once that first bell rings?
I don't know. I suppose whatever I've prepared, whether she, you know, flies out and comes at me and tries to turn it into a dogfight straight away, or whether it's cagey, either way, I'll just stick to my game plan and, you know, get the job done.
What sort of fight do you think Lauren will bring? What sort of Lauren Price have you prepared for? I know you don't do a lot of tape study, but you will, I'm sure, and you might not want to give it away, but you will have some idea of what you think she might do.
I mean, I think I've tried to limit my expectation as much as possible, just so I don't kind of derail my own efforts. You know, once you start thinking one way, then something else comes about, then you kind of, you know, screwed yourself a little bit. So we train for everything. We train with men, we train with girls, we train with lefties, we train with righties, we train with a little bit in the morning, at night. You know, we just kind of mix it up so that we're prepared for whatever.
So in a way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, basically.
There's your headline. I've written it for you. Okay, finally, I mean, I'm not saying it's the Lauren Price show, but we are in Cardiff, so I will just give her the last word. In terms of, do you want to address the support that you've got? What would it mean to you? And again, just to reiterate, you've said it before, like, pressure is a privilege, but to become the first female Welsh world champion for these parts, the local fans, everybody that's bought a ticket, talked about inspiring the next generation. What is your final message?
Just again, massive thank you to everyone, you know, who's coming out Saturday to support me. And yeah, like you said, obviously there's pressure on me, but I've always had pressure throughout my career. And I believe I put on a performance on Saturday, and Wales will have a new world champion. You know, when I turned over professional as Olympic champion, I had two things on my mind. I want to become world champion, and I want to box in front of my own fans. And to be fair to Ben and Sky, you know, they've delivered on this. So yeah, massive thank you to them as well.
Ben, I'll give you the final word. I think the final few tickets are available if you can search hard enough to find them.
Yeah, final few tickets available. The interest has been incredible so far. I really, truly believe Lauren Price is so important to boxing in this country and her success, and that's why we're seeing the support that we're seeing for Saturday night. Everyone's involved. Every Welsh radio station, every Welsh TV station, everyone is talking about Saturday night. It's a huge moment in Welsh sporting history, I believe. It's a chance to make history. And, yeah, final tickets available for the Motorpoint Arena on Saturday night.
And what's your final rallying call to the Welsh fans? We need you. Lauren needs you. OK, she's got it in her own hands, her destiny, but that crowd is vitally important.
I think, she's a once-in-a-generation sports star. You don't get many of these. I think the Welsh are famous for getting behind their own. Of course, Joe Calzaghe's success is incredible, and Joe Cordina more recently. But this is someone that has won a gold medal at the Olympics, has become an MBE before she's even turned over. Now it's her time to prove herself in the professional ranks. I think we're about to see a superstar born on Saturday night, and that's what we're here to witness. And yeah, any final tickets available now at boxer.com. I expect a very, very special night.
OK, well, thank you to everybody. Unless anybody's got anything else they want to say, we'll wrap it up. We'll break for head-to-heads, and then I think both fighters will be available for one-on-one interviews. If you could just stay down at the front so everyone can get their shots at the back. But thank you for coming today, and make sure you join us tomorrow for the weigh-in and Saturday night for, of course, our world title fight.
Pretty respectful between the two then in the press conference. It's interesting though, Jessica McCaskill yesterday, the open workouts, there were a lot of smiles. There seems to be more business today, doesn't it, Johnny?
Takes fight week ticks down, and now the nonsense is done with. They do the obligatory workouts that they don't want to do. This is another thing they don't want to do. They want to get to the weigh-in. Once the weigh-in done, that's when it's fight night starts. Straight after the weigh-in, then it's just down to you, your team, and what your plan is. So as the week rolls on, you'll see fighters getting more serious and more professional.
Yeah, and also you get more hungry, don't you, as the week goes. And at this point, you might even be starting to get thirsty.
Yeah.
And hunger's nothing when you know what real thirst is.
You can see just what's at stake there. Jessica carrying the WBA, the IBO, and the Ring Magazine title there. Lauren just had a little sly look there of going there. She wants those belts to remain here in Wales, but Jessica will be very much wanting to take those back home.
Yeah, it's good. Look, you've got two quality operators up there, very, very different routes. Like you say, McCaskill, not a decorated amateur, didn't even have much of a amateur career, and then you've got Lauren, which is obviously the complete polar opposite to that. And it is a fascinating matchup in that regard, because yes, we know Lauren has always been a real competitor. She's been a high achiever, the highest of achievers in anything she's ever done. But she has only had 6 professional fights, and
she's not been in with anyone like Jessica McCaskill.
Definitely not, or anywhere near it. So it's a huge leap. But I do feel that she knows that, and that she's up for it. So, but it's gonna, like I say, she's gonna have to put on a career, not just a career best performance, but a performance that's better than she's ever put on.